Okay, hi everybody. This is going to be kind of a quick overview of this software and how I use it. Not so much how to use it, but more how I use it. Just to kind of show you quickly the ways that I can use this software as a tool to help show the client and discuss with the client some options for their particular job. You may see this little window pop up occasionally. That's just the program running that is recording everything that I'm doing right now. So don't pay any attention to that. Also, I am going to go straight through with these and just record these live, so they might be a little bit rough in some spots, so just bear with me. Going to go pretty quickly. If you miss anything, you can always pause and go back and replay, and if you have any questions, obviously you can message me on Facebook. So let's get cracking. This is what the program looks like when you first open it. This is the kind of standard view that shows up. So right away I'm going to change my viewports to top, to front, to left, and to perspective. This is kind of the standard mechanical or drafting drawing configuration. So it's the way I've always set up my viewports, kind of the way my brain works and the way things work. So the next thing we're going to do is go right to, oh no wait, I'm sorry. I'm going to go ahead and open up the materials quick browser over here, and I'm also going to go into the options and the grid and set my spacing to 0.25. Everything that I work with in here, the units of measure are 1 inch, so everything is 1 inch. So what I just changed the grid to was 1/4 inch resolution, and then by selecting this here, I've now turned on grid snapping, so everything will now snap to the grid or lock into the grid at 1/4 inch increments. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to open up the toolbox, which is here, which is a file that I've created using this program, building some models, and right away we see we've got the Qualitex models here, and these are to scale, and they are fully inflated 5 inch, 9 inch, 11 inch, 16 inch, 24, and 36 inch. There's no 30 inch here because that particular size is not available in any of these colors. If you look down here in the lower right, you'll see that it says standard colors. If we go to object here and open this up, in this list you see that actually everything is grouped the same way it is in the Qualitex catalog: standard colors, jewel colors, fashion colors, radiant pearl, etc. You get further down, we get into some specialized models and things that I've built for particular jobs or specific things that I've needed to make. So next thing we're going to need is we're going to open up the arch and column builder. Now in the folder I call prefabs, I have a bunch of files here that are some tools that I use to kind of help prefabricate some bulk items and things, and you'll see also there's some things like furniture and risers, DJ Tech and Truss, which are kind of some non-balloon related things, but make it easy for me to actually show the decor actually within an environment, and kind of gives you an idea of scale and things like that. There's even people to give you again an idea of scale. So we're going to go to the arch and column builder for now and open that up, and this takes a second to open. This is kind of a big file, so let that open up eventually. Here it comes. Alright, so there's that. And we're looking at basically this gray color is just the default color whenever you're building models in this program. There is that's why these balloons are just kind of this dull gray color currently. This particular object, you can see here we have a bunch of different objects and different tools in here. This particular object is the 11 inch by 4 1 twist, and what I use this for is basically for building bulk columns and arches, because what I can do is I can take each one of these blocks, each one of these assemblies here is exactly 1 twist, and if I begin to stack these, it just continues the pattern, if that makes sense. So what we got here is 1 twist, so we're going to show you real quick. Even though this box shows up showing like I'm selecting the entire object, I'm not. I'm actually selecting one group of balloons in here, and what I've done is I've grouped the balloons in a twisting pattern, in the standard spiral pattern. To show that, if I go to select all, invert selection, and I hide all of the other balloons, you can see now that what I've actually selected is just the one twist. So that's what one twist of balloons in a column or an arch looks like all by itself. Alright, kind of cool. So, going to go back here. Now I'm going to go to File and create a new file. And this file I'm going to save as, we're going to call this client. And what this would normally be saved in, that the client had a folder where I've got all of their information, like their invoice and things like that. This would go in there, and what I would label this as is client 3D, and that tells me this is the 3D portion or 3D file for that particular client. Save it as a .animate program. You don't need to change any of that. So when I save that, what that does now is I have three windows open. If you go to the window here, I have Toolbox, Arch and Column Builder, and Client 3D. So there's obviously nothing in the Client 3D yet. So we're going to go get the Arch and Column Builder. We're going to Control A to select all, Control C to copy, and then Control V to paste it into the Client 3D. Then we're also going to need to get the colors, for this particular one. So we're going to go to Window again and go to Toolbox. Now this is where it gets a little bit tricky, but you'll see what I mean by this is really just where I grab colors from. So the client has said they want white, wildberry, and rose in the columns. So here's white, and these colors can be on any of these objects, any of these balloons. Say I needed orange, I can just select like this one here, go over here and apply orange to it, and then I can copy that color and take that object and use it to import the color. So I need white, which is here. I'm going to select that, Control Copy. Oops, window, going to go to Client 3D, and we're going to paste that, and then immediately undo, and that imports our white color. The next thing we're going to need is the two, the rose and wild berry colors, and we know those are in the fashion palette, so we're going to go to Fashion Colors. And there's already a rose and a wild berry. I can right click and multiple select objects. So I'm going to right click here and here, copy those two, go here, and then we're going to paste those in and then undo right away. And now we have our three colors and our one twist of a column. Going to go ahead and save as I'm here, since I'm here. And now this is where it gets really cool. So from this top view, you can see the quads and how they're stacked. They go all the way down, just like that. So, because these balloons are already selected in a spiral, if I select this one here, and then I multiple select this one here, I've selected these two balloons now, and I can add white using the materials editor over here, add white to that. And as you can see, over here, it has put two stripes in a perfect spiral right around my column. Now the other two colors, the other two gray balloons there, we're going to make one of those wild berry and one of those rose. So we'll select one here, make that one wild berry, select this one here, make that one rose. Just like that. So now what we've done is we have added those colors to this column, and we can show the client now from a front view here what those particular colors will look like in their column. But she wants to know what looks better, two white, two rose, or two wild berry. So we say no problem. We're going to stay in this front view for a second. I'm going to use the drag tool to select all, copy, and I'm going to paste right away. And I'm going to isolate the x-axis and use the move tool to slide this over. And I'm going to copy and paste again and slide this one over here. And now I have three exact copies of the column. Just like that. But we want to be able to show what it looks like with a different color scheme. So now what I'm going to do is this first one we're going to keep with the two stripes of white. The second one, we're going to make this one with two stripes of rose. So I'm going to go opposite this rose, and change that wildberry to rose. Change one of these whites to wildberry, and then same here, opposite this one, duplicate the wildberry, and then make this back one here rose. So now down here we have 3 color options available for the client. This is not an accurate representation really of the colors. As you can see, they look a little different than what's actually in the palette over here. So the next thing we're going to do to make this look really nice is we're going to render the image. This defaults to 400 by 300. I change it right away to 800 by 600. That seems to be a pretty nice size. I also changed the background color to white instead of that dumb gray color. Make sure this box is ticked anti-alias, and then we are going to render the image, and it looks just like that. Now what I can do with this is go over to these options over here, go to save, go here right away, and we're going to stay in the prefabs folder. We're going to change this to JPEG because it makes it a smaller, easier to manage file. We're going to call this client ELV. Now let's call this client color ops, just like that. And then over here we can change this to JPEG, change this to 100%, and then we say OK. And now what we've done is we've saved this as a JPEG image. You can take that image now if you want to, and you can email that or text it to your customer. You can also go into Paint and use the text editor in Paint to notate things, to actually label the columns A, B, C if you would like, or give some other instructions. Even actually label the colors. I've done that before, and then be able to send all of that to the customer. So that's it for now. I'll have something new hopefully very soon. Thanks guys.